Hi, my name is Jenny, and this is my leadership plan. So, step one, a little bit about myself. At the beginning of this semester, I thought that I had a really good, view of myself as a leader. And then now, on my last day of the class, literally 4 p.m. today, it's the last hours. Um, I am more aware of myself than I ever thought possible. But at the beginning, I thought that I was a pretty good leader because people had always chosen me for leadership positions in sports and school. And then, looking at how you can actually be a leader this semester has been a huge eye opening experience. I learned that there's not one set leadership style, there's actually hundreds of them. And it's not a concrete thing either. It's something that will constantly be changing as you grow and learn in different environments that you're in. So over the course of this semester, I was really, eye opened, or my eyes were really opened to the fact that I was changing and I didn't even know I was changing. So looking back, these past few months has just been really, really cool. And looking at my LPI scores from the test that we took just a couple weeks ago, my score for encouraging the heart was extremely high, which is something I kind of expected just based on my upbringing. My parents were always focused on us encouraging others. I come from a big family, so we were taught to not only respect each other, but when we see each other doing a good job or doing something that maybe no one else notices they're doing, to be happy for them and encourage them to continue to do that. So that's something that definitely I had to begin with, and then has progressed this semester. And then my other one that was pretty good was challenging others. I think that's more of my athletic side coming out in my leadership style because I know how to bring the best out in people. I don't want to challenge them or belittle them, but I want to challenge them so that they work more effectively and work in the best manner possible, which is super important in the pharmacy setting, not only in community, but hospital, really any setting in the pharmacy. It's very important to challenge others to get them to reach to their potential. And then definitely my weakness is modeling the way, which was actually a surprise to me because I always thought that I was so type A that I would help people see what I want them to see. But in fact, my type A allows me to see what I want to see, but I don't effectively communicate it to others because I think it's so obvious that, hey, this is the end product, but I have no idea how to tell you to get there because it's just swirling around up here. For my EQ, I don't really think that these are totally accurate because I took this test in March of last year. But it said that I had a high self-awareness, which I do think is true. I think I am self-aware, which is kind of piggybacks off of the LPI of encouraging the heart. But I also think it's something I need to improve upon moving forward. And then, so my social competence EQ score was a little bit lower than my personal competence, which I kind of expected. Obviously, you know yourself better than you know others. But it's definitely something that I need to work on moving forward because I am going to be put in an environment where it is vital for me to understand those around me. Not just with patients or not just with coworkers, but with patients as well. It's important to kind of feel their emotions, how they're doing. If they're not doing well, maybe look out for them, ask them if everything's okay. And then the same with your patients. If you notice that Mr. Smith comes in and he doesn't look well, it's important to ask him, is his medication, is he not feeling well? Is there something that you can help him with, or you can help him understand as to why he's not feeling as well as he should be? And then just comparing the two, I put a lot more emphasis on my LPI score because I took it so recently. And then my EQ score, I actually took my EQ test again. And my scores were significantly different, which is kind of what I expected. But from the one that I took in March of last year, it said that I was more socially aware or personally aware of myself. And then my LPI score said that I was good in certain areas of social, but not in others. And then the EQ that I just took recently said that they were both pretty high. So I thought that was kind of interesting to see how it has improved. And then for my plan for the future, I think it's important that I continue to be a student of the profession as opposed to just someone who is just a member of the profession. And I know Dean Easton has talked about that once you graduate, you're not just a pharmacist, you will forever be a student pharmacist, which I think now is kind of hard for us to understand because we're just trying to get to graduation. But it's always important for us to make sure that we can communicate with others. And you can't communicate with others if you're not communicating with yourself. So making sure that you are, like the LPI says, being congruent with self. It's something that if you're not actively, doing what you're preaching, you can't expect others to do it because you're not even doing it yourself. And then an easy way to do this is just continue to take this LPI inventory and then be honest on it. And then, talk to other people around you. If they don't think that you are doing what you're saying you're doing, then obviously your patients and coworkers aren't going to, listen to you. And I also said for in encouraging the heart and in modeling the way, you could also take a class on communication just to make sure you're an effective communicator, because if you're not effectively communicating to those around you, then you can't expect them to benefit from your services because they don't understand what you're trying to get across to them. And I would also like to remain active in organizations in the future. I think being a part of community organizations has a good way of centering people and making them understand what the important thing is. Once we graduate, obviously there's going to be a million other things that we have to do. But it's important to remain an active member of the profession and not just cashing a paycheck every month. And then I would also like to remain a part of the Pharmacist Day at the Legislature. I know I talked about how much I enjoyed my experience, and I want to have other people enjoy their experience there as much as I did, because I truly feel like it could have a huge impact on the profession, just with those 7 or 8 bills that we were discussing. And that's, on a yearly basis. So if we can work to improve the profession, then we can not only have, happier pharmacists, but we can have happier patients and happier coworkers, because we're getting the most out of our line of work. Okay, so to wrap everything up, I would like to continue taking my LPI and EQ inventories on a regular basis in order to make sure that my social and personal awareness isn't lacking. It's important for me to remain active so that I can ensure both personally and socially my ability as a pharmacist or future pharmacist is at the highest level possible. Hope you enjoyed my presentation.